Hare Krishna. Satyananda Chinta Satyega Pakshe Sarvadhyakshe Bhakti Rakshadi Dakshe Shri Govinde Vishwasargadi Kande Purnanande Nityamastam Matirme Agyananira Dhirupaya Vishesham Bhakti Parabhavajati Pariposham Uchaihi Tatvam Param Spurati Durgamam Apyajashram Satkunya Vrutvarjitam Pranamami Gitam Gauram Sukhas Satkuda Pramodi Swabhi Kaya Gostamo Nihanta श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य सुदानि धर्मे मनोदितिष्ठन् स्वरतिं करोतु प्राचीनवाचः सुविचार्य सोऽहम् अज्ञोऽपि गीतामृतलेशलिप्सुः यतः प्रभोरेव मदेत तत्र सन्तक्षमध्वं शरणागतस्य सर्वोपनिषदो गावः दोक्ता गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्सः सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत् मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्कयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम् सुधर्मज्ञान वैराग्य साध्य भक्तिव गोचरः नारायणः परब्रह्म गीता शास्त्रे समेरितः ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण प्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति विकास स्वामिन्निति नामिने ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण प्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे योऽन्तः प्रविश्य वाजमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वदाम्ना अन्यान्तहस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं पान्पस्मान् पुरुहूतवैरिमलवन्मातङ्गमाद्यद्घटा कुम्भोच्छाद्विपाटनादिकपटुप्रत्येकवज्रायिताः श्रीमत्कण्ठीरवास्य प्रदसुनकरा धारिदारातिदूरप्रध्वस्तत्वान्तशान्तप्रतितमनसा भाविता भूरिभागैः. Hare Krishna, welcome you all for this Gita Sastri course. Now we are in the 22nd day of this Gita Sastri course, and today we'll be discussing the chapter number 18, and today will be the last class this Gita Sastri course. So we decided to do it in 20 days, but it has extended to 22 days. Santakshamadvam Sharanagadasya. Should all excuse me. So yesterday we were discussing from the 18th chapter a few things. That is Arjuna's question. Arjuna asked about what is the difference between sannyasa and tyaga. So Krishna explained sannyasa means giving up all your prescribed work, and tyaga means giving up the results of that work. And he even supported that giving up the results of work is much better than sannyasa itself. And he has explained and how this can be in the mode of sattva guna. So he has described that, and after that, now Krishna is going to speak about one more important point before winding up his discussion and coming to the conclusion. Krishna has to clarify one important thing here, that is akarta. Krishna has almost described everything in the previous chapter, but this akarta, that I am not the doer. So this topic is not yet clearly explained. So Krishna is taking up this subject now, and he says we are not the karta. How? See, whatever actions that we do, definitely there will be reaction. Definitely there will be some result. So how? Results cannot be there. Results will be there. If you do something, there will be some result. But what's the difference? If a person desires for that particular result, he gets that particular result only. But if a person has given up the desire for that particular result, then he gains some other result. Then he gains some different result. So that is the result of tyaga. You see, you do some kamya karma, like that you are cooking, and your result is you want to eat. So when you cook, you eat. That is the result. But when you are cooking, and you are cooking for some higher person, for some elevated person, and you offer this to him, then you get different result. You may get higher post, you may get his favor. So in this way, when you are expecting some result, you get that result only. But when you give up the expectation of your result, then you get higher result. That is the quality of tyaga. So how these people, they don't get the result? Because they never think we are the karta. If you think you are the karta, then you will be expecting the result. But when you think you are not the karta, then you don't expect the results. So Krishna says, in this world, whatever action that we do, it needs 5 important things. 5 important things together can accomplish any action. He says, Adhishtanam, Karta, Karanam, Prana, Daivam. These 5 things are necessary to perform any action. Adhishtanam means his body. And Karta means Jivatma. Karana means senses. And also Prana means different air which performs different actions in our body. And at last Daivam. Daivam means here super soul. So 5 things are necessary in order to do any action. Like we want to see something. So we need eyes and we need prana shakti to keep this eyes properly. And also we need this body where the eyes is kept. Eyes is there, and we have this body, and prana shakti is also there. Internal organs are working, but the atma has left the body. So if atma has left, then even if you have all this thing, it has no any use. So atma should be there. So even if you have atma, still there are some cases where you are not able to see, because sometimes we say, oh, you are there, I could not see you. So the concentration is missing. Somebody's misdirecting our concentration. So even though everything is present, but still we are not able to achieve that. Why? Because Deva, because his permission is not there. So we need these 5 things to perform any action. So Krishna says in an indirect way, Arjuna, it is very natural to understand you are not the doer. But I'm explaining to you in a very simple way that you are not the only doer. Like in a car, I have given you this example many times. In a car, you are not the doer. You are just sitting as a person and you are just pushing a button. But inside, there are many components, and there is a force, and there is a designer, and above all, we have the owner who has assembled this car. So all these people are considered as karta. But if you think yourself as karta, then that is foolishness. Prakrite kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasah ahankara vimudha atma karta aham iti manyate. He thinks I am the karta, I am the doer. But you should come out of this understanding that you are not the karta. You are just simply sitting there, and you are just one of the karta. Don't take full credibility for doing some work. So you should give this credit to all these 4 other things also. So now, so all the actions, if we say this, then the doubt may arise. If all the actions are depending on the Lord, if Lord is the ultimate person who sanctions our work, then we are just an instrument in Lord's hand. Then we are just like we are here to fulfill Lord's will, Lord's goal, and we are just like a piece of wood. And all the rules and regulations which are mentioned for the Jivatma, it is useless. Anyway, we have to do according to whatever Lord says. So if that is the case, why there are Shastric rules? And we have no anything to do to change ourselves, and we don't have to follow any instructions. So we just follow Lord's instruction. He is inside and he is only doing the karta, and we are just being used as an instrument. So why we have to follow all the rules and regulations? Then we have beautiful explanation from Vedanta Sutra. It says, Parat tattacha shaktehe. Parat tattacha shaktehe means, yes, Lord is a doer. What kind of doer? He is the Mukhya Karta, and everything is secondary Karta or secondary cause. Lord is the primary cause and everything else is secondary cause. Like we have given this example of jail. When we need a jail, yes, government builds the jail, he plans, he arranges people to build the jail, he designs, and the government is doing everything. Even though the criminal is one of the cause for constructing a jail, but still everything is done by government. but it's criminal's will whether he should be in the jail or not. So that he can do. So in the similar way, it is said that Paratat Chaktehe, Vedanta Sutra says, all the powers are given by God. So the similar power is given to the Jivatma also. So Jivatma, by his intelligence, now he can think whether I should act in a proper way or an improper way. This much the independence is given to Jivatma. So if he takes up good action, then he is not involved he doesn't have to get involved in this mood of karta. If he does bad activities, then definitely he is considered as karta and he has to suffer all the karma phala for that. So what Jivatma is doing, he's just desiring. According to his desire, Lord arranges everything. So Lord arranges, he creates, he arranges, he maintains everything, but the desire, the ultimate desire, the independence, the tiny independence is given to us. So that's why Krishna said, this independence is given to Arjuna. So use this independence properly. How to use this independence properly? Tasmat Shastram Pramanam De Karya Karya Vastito. So use your independence, use your intelligence according to Shastra, according to Sadhu Sangha. If you use that properly, then you don't have to be in this world. If you don't use that properly, then you are considered as karta and you have to be staying in this world. So Krishna says, these 5 factors are the cause for all kinds of action. Whether you follow dharma or adharma, this is the cause of all caution. So first thing is that we should work as per Shastra. And second thing, you should not consider that you are the only doer. These 2 things we should follow. So then there is no papa or punya for your karma results, or else we have to take up the results. Lord is not the responsible person for our papa and punya. He is just like a light. In this light, under the light, you can either read Bhagavad Gita or you can play cards. So Lord will just assist us. So ultimately, the free will is given to us. So according to our free will, we can make a choice whether we want to follow the Shastra or we want to ignore the Shastra. So this is how we should do. And Lord says, those who are foolish, they see they are the only cause. And because of this, they suffer. They get entangled in this world again and again. So if you understand that you are not the cause, then you don't have to get entangled. You don't have to worry about it. Like in an industry, in a factory, the owner is running an industry. So in his industry, there are many managers, many clerks. So manager is managing everything and clerks are working. So the owner is running the industry, expecting some results from the industry. So now what happened? Now industry is going towards the loss. So what happens now? Managers leave the factory and clerks, they leave the factory. Clerks, they leave the factory because anyway, there is no more work here. And manager, he leaves because there is nothing to manage. Now, whole loss comes on the owner. Similarly, when you think that you are the owner, you are the karta, then you have to face the loss. But when you understand we are not the doer, when we understand everything is Lord's and we are just a servant, then we don't have to take up this burden of loss and gain, all these things. So when you understand that, when you understand this, that you are not the karta, then you don't have to, then you will not have any more reactions. So how you will not think that you are not this karta? When you understand you are not this body, then you will understand you are not the karta. Everything is done by prakriti. The atma, it is just sitting inside the body, and everything else is done by this senses, an interaction with the senses and with sense objects. So atma doesn't do anything. Atma just desires. So with this knowledge, if you understand, if you try to contemplate on this, then by atma jnana, you can come out of the misunderstanding of I am the karta. So this is interconnected. Because this is jnana prakarana, this 6th chapter is jnana prakarana. So Krishna is speaking about jnana yogis method. So this is how the jnana yogi, they meditate. When they understand that they are not the body, they are spirit soul. So they think that we are not the kartas. So consider this situation that a boy, he has done some mistake. School boy has done some mistake. Maybe he has bitten some of his friend. So now teacher, he punishes him. He says, now you behave, now you take up the makeup of a dog. So he becomes like a dog. So few students, they got this punishment. Now there are some student among those got punishment. There are some student who heard that we have done this mistake and we should not do again. So even after taking the makeup of a dog, they are not behaving like a dog. They are sitting very peacefully, and they are not behaving like a dog. So when they are peaceful, when they are not behaving like a dog, then what happens? And slowly, in after some time, their dog makeup is taken out, and they are again joined back as a normal student. But there are some students who has taken up this makeup of a dog, and they start to think that they are this dog, and they start to bite everyone, and they start to behave like a dog. What happens? Their punishment increases more and more. The similar way, due to our previous impressions, due to our previous karma, now we have got this body, now we have got different situations. Now in this situation, we should think whether I should behave in the situation, how I should behave in the situation. So we should take help from Shastra. In the situation, should I behave like this or not? If Shastra says yes, we behave. If Shastra says no, we don't behave. So the Shastras are considered to be teacher's word. So those who have taken up this makeup of a dog, now they will ask teacher whether I should do this or not. The teacher says no, they will not do. The teacher says yes, you do, then they will do. So if they follow teacher's word, slowly they will come out of this dog's makeup, and they will be a normal, proper student. But if they disregard the teacher's word, and they are considering themselves like a dog, and anyway they have this previous habit of biting others, so they go on continuing doing the same mistake and again. So again they will take up the body of a dog. So why this comes, why all these things comes? Because those students, those good students, they remember we are not this dog, we are students. But those who are in the form of dog, in the makeup of dog, they have forgotten that they are the students. So what they are doing, they are behaving like a dog. So the ultimate understanding, the ultimate jnana is, if you don't remember, if you don't realize that we are soul, then we will be thinking ourselves as karta, and we will be again and again getting entangled in the samsara. But once if you contemplate on that we are not this body, we are spirit soul, then you will not get inside this akarta, this karta mood. And what you will do, you will follow according to Shastra, then you can come out of this impression and you will get liberation. So this is how we should get out of this karta mood. So having said that, now Krishna speaks about how from action knowledge arises. He gives few formula. So Krishna here summarizes everything from whatever he has taught us in this 18th chapter. He summarizes. So this is quite philosophical. I will not be able to explain everything in this one session. We'll just see whatever is there in a summary format. And as I have told you already, that we have detailed class also. Every day we'll go through one shloka with Acharya's commentary in English. So when we go through that kind of summary class, that kind of detailed classes, we will discuss very detailed, because sincerely I'm saying, after my 12-15 years of Bhagavad Gita study, when I study now, I can see so many things, I can see so many connections, I can see so much difference from my understanding also, whatever I have read in previous years with this Acharya's commentary. It is amazing, and I sincerely apologize that I will not be able to explain everything, whatever I have understood, because of this is the first time I'm explaining in English, and also the things are much vaster. So it is very difficult for me to explain. I have to give you the background, what is said here. Then if I explain, you will understand, but we don't have time. For that, what we will do, we'll go through one by one shloka. When we go through one by one shloka, then we can discuss detailing. So here, Krishna gives about formula for action, for knowledge, and also Yeah, first of all, he gives these two things. He gives formula for action, how one should do action. So formula for action is, he speaks about uh, process of gaining knowledge and also the object of knowledge and the knower. So for anything, for any action, from our action we should get knowledge. That is the whole point. Whatever actions that we perform, we should gain knowledge from that. So in doing action, we need these three things. What are they? The knower, that is me, the Atma, and the object of the knowledge, that is Atma, and the process of gaining that knowledge, that is instruction. So we need these two things. So there are three kinds of knowledge, three kinds of action, and three kinds of doer. So Krishna speaks about three kinds of doer. Three kinds of doer means three kinds of atmas and three kinds of action, the ways, and three kinds of knowledge about the soul. So what is the knowledge about soul? Those who are in Sattva-guna. Those who are in Sattva-guna, their knowledge about the soul is that they see the soul is indestructible. And even though the soul travels from one body to another, the soul doesn't change. And also they see, even though the soul is traveling different body, it doesn't take up any of the quality of those bodies. The soul is undivided, the soul is uncontaminated. This is the knowledge about soul of person who is in Sattva-guna. And those who are in Tamo, those who are in Rajoguna, their knowledge about the soul is, they have various opinions about the soul, and they think the soul gets destroyed when the body is destroyed. Again, the soul is born when the body is gone. They think there are different souls in each body. Now I have different soul here. This soul gets destroyed. When I go to next body, the soul again develops. So this is the knowledge of the person who is in Rajoguna. And those who are in Tamoguna, they have no knowledge about the soul. Their only knowledge is mental activities. Their only knowledge is Annamaya platform. I have this body and I'm enjoying this body. So me and my body. So this is also a knowledge, because this is knowledge in the knowledge in Tamoguna, knowledge about the soul. Because if you say there is no knowledge, that means we are just like a prakriti, we are like a jada, we are like a dead matter. Those who are in Tamoguna, they also have knowledge, but what kind of knowledge about the soul? They think this body has a soul and they want to satisfy this body. So that is their knowledge about the soul. So this is the knowledge in three modes, and also actions in three modes. Those who are in Sattva-guna, they do prescribed actions according to Shastra without thinking that we are the doers, and they have no attachment for their actions, and they have no attachment for the desires, and they have no attachment for the results. So this is the Sattva-guna person's action. And those who are in Rajoguna, they work with desire for results, and they think we are the doers, and they do extreme hardship to achieve something, to achieve their sense gratification. And those who are in Tamoguna, their actions are destructive, it leads to bondage, it is harmful to others, and it is performed with force, and it is performed with illusion. So you can see by means of our action, myself, I have some faith about myself. If I am in Sattva-guna, then I know that I am spirit soul. Then how I will act? I will act according to Shastra without the expectation for the result, and considering myself as a non-doer, and giving up the results to the God. And what is my understanding will be? My understanding will be that I will reach the soul. This is the person in Sattva-guna. But if somebody is in Rajoguna, he thinks the Atma changes anyway from body to body. So what I will do expecting some result from my work, and I will do hardship, and I will do sense gratification. Those who are in Tamoguna, they have no knowledge about the soul. Their only knowledge about the soul is their body. So what they will do? They will distract themselves, then they will be harmful for others also, and they will perform their work based on some force, and they want to just, based on force means because their senses are pushing them, their family is pushing them, so they will forcefully do some work just to maintain their body. So this is how we should understand. And there are three kinds of doers. Those are in Sattvaguna. They don't have any false identification. Like I've said, these three things are interconnected: the doer, the path, and the result. I am the doer, so I do something and I get some result. So if I am a Sattvaguna person, I do like this. How I will do? I think I am not the doer, and I don't do this for my self price, and I do with enthusiasm, and I will not be disturbed by dualities. This is how I do my work. And what kind of work I will do? I will do based on Shastras. I will definitely will not think that I am the doer. I have no attachment for my results, and also I have no attachment for my work, because it is Lord's work. So what is my understanding? My understanding will be, I realize the soul. I realize the soul properly. If I am in Rajoguna, then I am attached with my family. I have desire for the results. I am miser. I give pain to others. I am unclean. I am subject to the dualities, and I think I am doing this work. So what kind of works I will do? I will do extreme hardship, which are beyond Shastras. And what is my understanding about the soul? The soul changes body to body, so I work for my sense gratification. If you are in Tamoguna, he doesn't know what is to be done, what is not to be done. He is not humble. He hides his ability to work, and he offends other. He is lazy. He is dejected, and he delays the work. So this kind of person is in Tamoguna. So what kind of works he will do? He will do destructive work. He will do harmful work. He has to be forced to do work. And what is his knowledge? What is his knowledge from this work? He will think, anyway, I am this body, I have to work for my body. So you can see the connection, this three connection: the performer, the performed, and the goal. So the performer is Atma. He performs some kind of work, and the goal is the knowledge that he gains from the goal. So according to three types, there are three kinds of results that we can understand. And Krishna speaks about three kinds of intelligence and determination. So here intelligence means knowledge of the soul, and determination means how he works. So those who are in Sattvaguna, he understands the difference between dharma and adharma. He knows what is karya and akarya, what is papa punya, what is pravritti nivritti. So if you are in Sattvaguna, then you have this kind of intelligence, and you know how to behave, how to act. If you are in Rajoguna, you don't understand completely what is dharma and adharma. You don't know what is duty and what is not duty. And those who are in Tamoguna, they think dharma is adharma, and they think all the contrary things has to be true. So this how the person who are in Rajoguna, Tamoguna, or Sattvagunas, their intelligence will work. So according to your intelligence, you are that person. You are a person in Sattvaguna, so you have this kind of intelligence. With this kind of intelligence, you do this kind of work. With this kind of work, you get this kind of result. So these four things are interlinked again. So determination. So determination also changes according to Sattva, Raja, Tamoguna. So those who are in Sattvaguna, he always engages his mind, intelligent senses in the concentration of the Lord. But those who are in Rajoguna, their determination, here the determination is given. To do any action, you need determination. So that determination changes, it fluctuates. Sattvaguna people, their determination is firm. When they take up some work, they will concentrate on the Lord and they will complete it. But those who are in Rajoguna, their determination fluctuates according to the person he associates. So his determination changes all the time. But those who are in Tamoguna, their determination is weak because they cannot avoid sleep, fear, lamentation, dejection, and passion. So three kinds of determination is given. First determination is in Sattvaguna, that is, they will fulfill their taken up job. And those who are in Rajoguna, the determination changes. And those who are in Tamoguna, their determination is very weak. So everything is interlinked. Determination is connected with the work, and knowledge is connected with the doer. Doer is connected with the performance, or doer is connected with the action, and action is connected with the knowledge. So in this way, Krishna connects so many things. Don't worry, we are not jnanis, and it is not for us. And he says there are three kinds of happiness. So these jnanis, they attain three kinds of happiness. What are the happiness? Those who are in Sattva Guna, for Sattva Guna, in Sattva Guna happiness, it brings joy, it destroys sorrow, and also it is poison in the beginning, maybe, but at the end, it is very blissful. So this is Sattva Guna happiness. So this is spiritual happiness. In spiritual life, in the beginning, it may be little bit bitter, but at the end, it is very pleasing. And also, this kind of spiritual life, it is bringing joy somehow or other. We don't understand why it is bringing joy, but it is always bringing us joy. When we do Harinam, when we hear, when we see Lord, when we take Prasadam, we all become happy. Why we are becoming happy, we don't understand. Ultimately, we become happy. So this brings joy and it destroys sorrow also. You may go Sunday evening to some club and you can order some costly food and you can watch some dance and you can eat whatever you want, but you won't feel happiness, and more the sorrow only comes. Because once, as soon as you go outside, your kama krodha increases, your greed increases, your lust increases, then you become more and more frustrated with all these things. Your happiness doesn't grow, rather your sorrow grows. But in spiritual life, what happens? As soon as you enter, the happiness grows and the sorrow starts decreasing. So this is how the Sattva happiness is. So from purity of intellect connected with Atma. So their happiness is connected with Atma. And those who are in Rajoguna, their happiness is in the contact of their senses, object of the senses. Their happiness is nectar in the beginning and poison in the end. This is, we can see in this world, everything looks so fresh and beautiful in the beginning. But as time goes, then it becomes poison. So this is the person's happiness in the Rajoguna. And in Tamoguna, their happiness is different. Their happiness is sleeping, laziness, inattention, and illusion of the self. So their happiness is completely different. So Krishna says, Arjuna, no one is free from these three modes of material nature in this world. So that's why I have given Varnashrama Dharma. So why this Varnashrama Dharma is given? Because everybody is carrying some kind of impression. Now this impression has to be purified. Anyway, we have this impression in our heart. Like a person who has developed this anger. So he has this anger in his heart. So what Krishna does, he puts him in Kshatriya family. Now what he can do, he can use this anger in a proper way. If somebody has this ability to cheat or to do marketing, what he does, he puts them in Vaishya family so that he can use his intelligent and he can use this ability in Vaishya community and he can advance. So Krishna created this Varnashrama Dharma not for him. He has created this Varnashrama Dharma for us. Like Krishna, like government is creating so many job vacancies. The job vacancies are not given randomly. There are jobs for peons, there are jobs for marketing people, there are jobs for managers, there are jobs for CEOs also, and there are jobs for those who are ruling the country. So according to your ability, you occupy the post. Here, what Krishna is doing, since he is a Paramatma in our heart, he knows our inclination. So what he does, he makes us to take birth in particular family so that our nature will be entertained in that family and we can get purified. So Krishna says, so in this world, everybody is born with these three modes of material nature. Nobody can avoid it. So I have created this Varnashrama Dharma so that due in this Varnashrama Dharma, their nature will be entertained properly and they get purified also. Like if a person has a Brahmana nature, if you put him in Kshatriya family, he will be like Yudhishthira Maharaj. It's uncompared. It's not possible to stay being a Kshatriya and also like a Brahmana. It's not possible. It is not good also for himself and for the society. So this Varnashrama Dharma is created so that our impressions can be purified. Because anyway, you have this impression, you cannot change the impression. That's what Krishna is going to say to Arjuna. Arjuna, you have this impression of Kshatriya. You cannot avoid this. Even if you want to avoid this now, if you think that Brahmanas are better, I will become like a Brahmana, I will go on big and live very simply, you will not do, because Prakriti will push you inside that. Because you have this impression, you will end up doing Kshatriya duty even if you go to forest. So Krishna says, so better do your dharma. So he says there are duties for Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. For Brahmana, controlling of mind, controlling of external senses, austerity, cleanliness, tolerance, honesty, knowledge of the scriptures, realization, faith in the scriptures. So all these things are qualities for a Brahmana. And for Kshatriya, courage, confidence, resolution, expertise in completing his job, not fleeing from the battle, charity, and also controlling others. These are the qualities for Kshatriya. And Vaishya's agriculture, cow protection, and business are the quality for Vaishya. And for Shudras, service to the others, other three communities. So these activities give rise to knowledge. Like it's like a lotus coming out of mud. Krishna gives very beautiful analogy here. If you see lotus, it's very beautiful and it's very attractive. It has very good color, it has very good aroma, everything is there. But where it is coming from? It is coming from mud. Similarly, Krishna is saying here, Arjuna, by performing your duties, even though the duty may look very ugly, but ultimately by doing this duty, knowledge arises. So this knowledge is just like a lotus. So don't give up your duty as a Kshatriya. So if you perform your duty as a Kshatriya, maybe apparently from external sense, it may look like you are killing someone. But ultimately the knowledge, the understanding or the result is different. So doctor may look like he's cutting something and he is dealing with blood and things. But ultimately the result is different. So Krishna says, by your activity, you are purifying your samskaras and knowledge arises. So you should do your duty. Krishna says in the 46th shloka, very important shloka in Bhagavad Gita. So he says, that shloka. Yata pravritir bhutanam yena sarvamidam tatam swakarmanam tam abhyarcha siddhim vindati manavaha. He says, Yata pravritir bhutanam yena sarvamidam tatam. Man achieves steadiness in jnana. So how he will do? By worshipping the Lord, mentally offering the prescribed duties. They will do their own work. Swakarmana means according to their varnashram dharma. Swakarmana tam abhyarcha siddhim vindati manava. Siddhim means they attain perfection. Perfection means here atma jnana. So they attain atma jnana by means of performing their own action. Shreyan swadharmo vigunan paradharma swanishtita swabhava niyatam karma kurvannapnoti kilvisham. You remember this shloka? Krishna spoke the same kind of shloka in 3rd chapter also. Shreyan swadharman vigunan paradharma swanishtita swadharme nidhanam shreyaha paradharmo bhayavaha. You remember this shloka from 3rd chapter? I think 35th shloka. So Krishna speaks the same kind of shloka here. Shreyan swadharma vigunan paradharma swanishtita. Arjuna, don't think about others' dharma. Don't think about that Brahmana dharma is greater than Vaishya dharma, or Brahmana dharma is greater than Kshatriya dharma, or Shudra dharma is very lower than Brahmana dharma. No, everything is equally important. In your body, every part has its own work to do. We don't consider this is lower and this is higher. In a family, family members, they take up different kinds of work. There is nothing like he is doing higher work, he is doing lower work. If you accept Krishna as your father, then for father, someone is massaging the feet, someone is making father to give him bath, and somebody is cooking for the father, and somebody is earning for the father, and somebody is talking to the father very, very nicely, somebody is giving medicine to the father. So if you think everything as a service to the father, then you don't see this higher service, this lower service. So in this way, the whole society is working in this way. The whole society, it is meant for serving the Lord. So as a Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, Brahmana, doesn't matter. Lord has given you this work, you are doing this work as a service to the Lord. If you have this mentality, then you get purified. Otherwise, if you try to perform others' work, it is not purifying you. He says, perform your own dharma. It is always better. Don't take up others' duty. So no varnashrama duty is lower. Many look false in others. Like I said now, Yeah, now Arjuna is thinking, okay, Kshatriya Dharma, now I have to kill these people, I have to do this war. There are so many faults. So what I will do, I will take a Brahmana Dharma. It is very clean, it is very pure, it is without any action. You have to just control your senses and sit nice. So I will take a Brahmana Dharma. I will go and beg and I will live very simply. It may look like this dharma has no any faults and Kshatriya dharma has faults. No, Krishna says every dharma has faults. Like we have fire, even in the fire there is smoke. Fire is always bright. Fire is purifying. But even in that fire, we have darkness. That is, we have smoke. If you keep your hand, then whole hand becomes dark, becomes black. So we may think fire is giving light and it is very nice, it is bright. And even in the fire, there is smoke. Similarly, every dharma has its own fault. So don't see for the faults. We always say that the other side is always better. No, everywhere there is problem. Until we are in this world, every dharma has its own plus and minuses. So Krishna says, don't think about that. So do your own duty. By means of doing your own duty, you will attain perfection. So those whose intelligence is unattached, whose mind is under control, who is devoid of the desire for material sense gratification, they will attain the result of jnanis. So jnanis, whatever results they attain, that is Atma Jnana, they attain the same kind of highest perfection by means of doing their work. So no need to give up your work, just do your work and give up the results for your work. By means of this, we can attain all happiness. So this Varnashram Dharma was very strong in our India. Now we are all saying that because we have demolished this Varnashram Dharma, now India is growing. See ourselves, see our history. Whole world is looking at India. Why? Because we are slow flourishing. We are so rich in everything, in knowledge, in culture, in scripture, in sculptures, in health, in dance, whatever way you see, we're best in everything. Why? Because we are preserving that essence. We're not mixing. Even now, you can see when you get some pure breed, it's always very valuable. When the breeds are mixed, there's no any value. Even now, we are looking for some pure breed of cows, pure breed of dogs. Why? When you maintain the pure breed, it has more ability. When the breeds are mixed, it may look very fluffy, it may look very big dog, or now we have cows. We have this Jersey cow. This Jersey cow is so big. This Jersey cow is a mixture of own desi cow and pig. So what they have done, this Western people, when they came to India, they saw our cows. They're very beautiful and their milk it's complete nutritious food. So they want to destroy this because cow is in the form of religion. Cow is actually the religion in the form of animal. So they have mixed our cow with pig and they have created this big Jersey cow. You can see this big Jersey cow. It is not like ordinary cow. It is so dull. It is like a pig only. That's the face and also the activity. And it gives so much milk. You can get 10 liters, 15 liters milk. But what's the use? Now everybody is going for this pure desi milk. Why? When you preserve their varnas, then it has more effectiveness. But now it is useless because already everything is mixed. In Satyuga, predominantly everybody was in the stage of Brahmanas. And in Treta Yuga, then Kshatriya started to develop. Then in Dwapara Yuga, Vaishya started to develop. But in Kali Yuga, only Shudras they remain. Only Shudras will remain. And again, the thing will go back. Like Shudras, when they perform their work very properly, Shudras means they have this humbleness, they have this humble tendency. So when they do this kind of work, then because of their humbleness, they again take birth as Brahmanas. Why? Because they have developed this quality of humbleness, simplicity, respecting everyone. So again, they can take birth. They are considered to be a Brahmanas. Next life, they take birth. So in this way, our impressions get purified one after another. So Krishna here speaks about that. I will speak about how a person attains jnana. So Krishna here is speaking about Sannishta Bhakta. Remember, there are three kinds of bhakta that we have discussed: Sannishta, Paranidishta, Nirapeksha Bhakta. So Krishna is concluding those who are in Sannishta, those who are in the first stage, how they attain this jnana. They develop sattvika intelligence, and they have sattvic determination, and they have no desire for sense gratification. They give up the attraction and repulsion. They try to live ekaki. They try to be alone, and they eat less. They control their speech and mind. They absorb completely in the Lord. They take shelter of detachment, free from false ego, free from the thinking of pride, lust, anger, possessiveness, free from the worldly connections. They realize Atma, and they become peacefully situated in this place. So Krishna, whatever he spoke from 2nd chapter to 6th chapter, he summarizes in these 2 shloka. So this is the first stage. This is the first method. That first he realizes the Atma, and how he realizes the Atma by means of Nishkama Karma Yoga. From Nishkama Karma Yoga, how he develops all those good qualities and how he realizes Atma. So this is the explanation that Krishna has given. So he says, Brahma Bhutaya Kalpate. In the 53rd shloka, he says this kind of people, they attain the self-realization of the Atma. Then what happens? Brahma Bhuta Prasanna Atma Anasachetana Kankshati Samasarveshu Bhuteshu Mad Bhaktim Lavate Param. After realizing the Atma, then he attains my devotion service. So actual devotion service starts after the realization of Atma. Now whatever devotion service that we are doing, it is just like a rehearsal. So you are doing rehearsal in your drama troupe, in your drama room. So it looks like you are dancing, you are performing some play, but actually it is not an actual play. When actual play will happen, when you perform in front of king, then actual play will happen. So if you want to play in front of king, if you want to act in front of king, then you need full training. So what Guru is doing, so he trains you in the corner of the place. So he trains you until you get perfect. When you are perfect, then you can go and stand in front of king and you can perform perfectly. So in a similar way, now we are not at self-realized. So until we are in this conditioned stage, what Guru is doing, he is purifying us and he is training us how to serve Krishna in the liberated state. So now we are getting trained, and what we will do when we attain Krishna, we will serve Krishna again in a very perfect way. So this is what Krishna says here. Once if you realize Atma, then he will get liberation. Then after getting liberation, his devotion starts. So Krishna says, Bhaktya maam abhijanati yavanyaschasmi tatvatah tato ma tatvato gyatva vishade tatvanantaram. So by following bhakti, he attains more bhakti. So that is the whole understanding. Sadhya sadhana bhava. So we are performing bhakti now and we end up in bhakti. Now our bhakti is very bitter, but slowly our bhakti will get more tastier. Now we are having jaundice. So what we are doing, we are taking sugar candy. We are drinking sugar cane juice. So when you are having jaundice, when you are doing sugar cane juice, it is bitter. But you keep on drinking. When the disease is no more, then you feel the taste. Then you start drinking more and more sugar cane juice. The similar way, now we are performing our bhakti. It's like a medicine. You perform more and more and more. Once you are purified, then you will feel the taste of the devotion. So here Krishna speaks about the Sannishta Bhakta. Sannishta Bhakta means step by step gradual understanding or gradual elevation to bhakti. From Nishkama Karma Yoga to bhakti, how he gradually increases. We have discussed everything in the previous chapter itself. We don't have to discuss again. Now Krishna speaks about Parinishtita Bhakta, second kind of devotee. So what he does, how he develops devotion. Sarva karmani api sada kurvano mad vyapashrayah mad prasadat avapnoti shashvatam padam abhyayam. So second kind of devotee is Parinishtita Bhakta. What he does, he that kind of person, he takes complete shelter to me. So he does bhakti as his main anga, and still he performs his prescribed duties. Why? Loka sangraham. In order to teach as an example, in order to set example for people, he performs his action. So for him, complete surrender and performing devotion service is the main thing, but they perform prescribed duty also. Why? Just to set an example. So this kind of people, they incidentally they attain me. So this is how Krishna says, "Ida Shashvatam Padam Abhiyam." So they are Parishtita Bhakta. So what they do, and he goes on speaking about the Parishtita Bhakta. Chetasa Sarva Karmani Mayi Sanyasya Matparaha Buddhi Yogam Upashritya Matchicham Satatam Bhavaha. So he says, offering all your actions to me, making me as your only goal of life, taking shelter of Buddhi Yoga, remembering me always while doing your actions, you perform your action. So this is how the Parishtita Bhakta do, the second kind of devotee. What he does, offering all his activities to me. That means whatever actions he is doing only for the Lord. Even though he works, he maintains his family for satisfying the Lord. And his only goal is to satisfy the Lord. And he takes shelter of Buddhi Yoga. What is Buddhi Yoga? We have given so many times this definition for Buddhi Yoga. What is Buddhi Yoga? Three kinds of knowledge. This is not my duty. I am not the doer. Result doesn't belong to me. This is called Buddhi Yoga. With three kinds of understanding, he performs his prescribed duty. And while performing his duty, what he does, remembering me always. While he was, whatever duties he's doing, he's always remembering me. That's what Krishna said, no, in the which chapter? I don't remember. Krishna says, Ma Manusmaridhyacha. Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu Ma Manusmaridhyacha. So Ma Manusmaridhyacha means you work for Krishna thinking about him in the form of holy name. So this is how Parishtita Bhakta do. Then Krishna gives a complete understanding of Parishtita Bhakta. What he does, Machitta Sarva Durgani Mat Prasadat Harishyasi Atachetvam Ahankara Na Shreyosi Vinangshasi. So Krishna again, now he says to Arjuna, by fixing your consciousness on me, you can cross across all kinds of miseries by my mercy. But Arjuna, if you don't listen to me, out of pride, you will perish. Krishna is now chastising. It's time for him to get into the war. Already he's talking so many things. Arjuna is still sitting. So Krishna will say, it is not necessary for Krishna to say all these things to Arjuna. He can make Arjuna to fight in one minute. But Krishna is speaking all these things just for us so that he can give us knowledge. So he says, even if you avoid fight, yet the hankaram ashritya na yotsya iti manyase. Krishna he chastises. In the 18th chapter, he's chastising. It's like a what do they say? It's like a climax. So in climax, Krishna is now a little bit chastising. He says, yet the hankaram ashritya. Hey Arjuna, if you are still hankara, na yotsya iti manyase. If you think still I will not fight, then he says, Nityase Vyavasayaste Prakrtisvam Niyokshati, then my Prakriti will not leave you. I will tell my Prakriti, she will engage you. What she will do? Then Swabhava Jane Kaunteya Nibadde Svena Karmana Kartum Nechasi Yanmohat Karishyasi Avasa Obitat. Then Krishna says, because you have this Swabhava, Kshatriya, then definitely you will fight. You are thinking you will not fight, but just wait a minute. Now Karna or Duryodhana will come. They will say, what is happening here? Wait a minute, what is happening? We have blown our conch and we are ready for fighting, and now you people are discussing something. What you are discussing? Hey Arjuna, you don't have any guts to fight with us. Are you scared? If he says only this much words, you will start fighting. I don't have to explain full Gita to you. So full Gita is useless anyway to you, because anyway you will follow your Swadharma. So Bhagavad Gita is not meant for encouraging Arjuna to fight. He will fight anyway out of his Swadharma, out of his Swabhava. But this Bhagavad Gita is spoken just purely for us. So that's what Krishna says. Even if you avoid your duty, but still you have to fight in any other way. It is impossible for us to run away from the impressions. You can run away from here, but in other form, the impressions will come and you have to suffer. So unless you get purified from the impressions, you cannot get out of this. Like Vishwamitra, he was having the Kshatriya kind of impressions. So he wanted to become Brahmana. He started doing meditation. What happened? He was all the time in Kama, Krodha, Lobha. He was all the time falling down. He was got by these impressions. Unless he gets purified, it's not possible. Then Krishna, then he is asking how I will end up in my nature. Arjuna may challenge. Krishna, you may say, but how I will do? I will not end up in nature. I will not fight. What you can do? And Krishna is saying very beautifully in next shloka that Ishvara Sarvabhutana Hriddese Arjuna Tishtati Brahmayan Sarvabhutani Yantrarodani Maya. Arjuna, I may told you that you are soul and you are sitting inside the body and you are moving this body, but actually I am the person who is moving this body. Ishvara Sarvabhutana Hriddese Arjuna Tishtati Brahmayan Sarvabhutani Yantrarodhani Maya. Like a person is operating the machine. So I am sitting inside, I am operating you. So you are just sitting there as a namesake. Like we have two drivers. When you go to driving school, you have two drivers in Western country at least. They have two steerings. One steering is for learner, and one steering, the ultimate control, is with the teacher. So teacher, he's controlling everything, but when the learner goes little wrong, then teacher takes full control of the car and he drives. The similar way, Lord says, I'm controlling you, Arjuna. Don't think that you can run away. Now you can run away from this war. But if you go to forest, I will give you some other war. And you have to fight there. So you cannot escape me. You have to fight me. So Krishna says that's why you better take refuge in me. He says, Tameva Sharanam Gacha Sarva Bhavena Bharata Tat Prasadat Param Shantim Sthanam Prapyasi Shashvatam. Arjuna, why all this headache? I have explained to you in so many ways. I am already tired, and it is getting late also. And it is 18th chapter. People are already going mad. They lose their patience. One chapter, next chapter, next chapter. It's too much. People are already, as you have said, people are already very rare to hear about spiritual things. When they come with the interest to hear about spiritual things, you can explain just like that. But you just go on explaining. People, they run away. The first day, we have so many enthusiastic 200 people. The second day, we have 100 good rishis. And also by end of the day, we can see some 30 really self-realized souls are sitting. Yes, I want to hear what Krishna says ultimately. So Krishna is saying, how much I can speak to you, Arjuna. Just take refuge in me. Just surrender unto me. And by my mercy, you will attain all the good things. You will attain my spiritual abode. Then after saying this, Krishna, now he gives a little bit space to breathe. He says, Iti te jnanam akyatam guhyam guhyataram maya vimarshayet asayena yata ichasi tata kuru. He says, Arjuna, I'm fed up. Do whatever you want to do. I have explained to you the secret of knowledge, the secret of all the secrets. Krishna, how many times he has to say, Arjuna, I'm going to tell you some secret. I'm going to tell you some secret. I'm going to tell you the most secret thing. Still Arjuna is staying there. He has shown him Vishwarupa. Are you going to fight or not? He was not ready to fight. Krishna is again and again pushing him. You see how difficult for Krishna, even for Krishna, to inspire one Jivatma. So to make one Jivatma to surrender, even for Krishna, it takes so much time. He has to convince Krishna he has to convince Arjuna in so many ways. Still Arjuna is sitting like that. Then Krishna says, considering your thoroughly yourself, do ask whatever you want to do. He says, Yata ichasi tata kuru. Whatever you want to do, you do, Arjuna. I'm fed up with you. Because I have explained to you that I am the Supreme Lord. I am the controller of everything. I am already doing all this war. I have killed them everything. Just become my Nimitta Matram Bhava Sabe Sachin. And you are not the doer. You are spirit soul and nobody is going to die. Anyway, they will get good thing. And I already have killed them. I have explained to you everything. But still, if you are not ready to fight, what can I do? He just gave up. But will Krishna give up? No. He can say, do as you like. But Krishna is so merciful. He will not give up. He again starts. Krishna is ready to do anything. Then he says, no, I'm not going to give you. He said, Sarva Gukyatamam Bhuya Shuname Paramam Vachaha Ishtosi Me Dridam Iti Tato Bakshami Te Hitam. I'm going to tell you something more, Arjuna. Maybe by hearing this you will fight. Krishna is very merciful. He goes on again and again until Arjuna says, Karishya Vachanam Tav. He says, because you are very dear to me, and I'm going to give you this conclusive knowledge. It is very secret. Keep it very secretly, and you have complete faith on me, I'm giving you this knowledge, it is for your benefit, it is not my benefit. Then Krishna says, Manmana bhavat bhakto madhyajima namaskuru mame vaisha satyam te pratijane priyosime. Krishna 2 times he promises here. Just pratijane, satyam te pratijane. He says 2 times, I promise, don't doubt. I promise, don't doubt. That's how you end up in some discussions. You try to convince a person, you give him various reasons, you give him logical understanding, the person doesn't understand. Then you say, promise, I promise, I promisely, say, I promisely. And Krishna also says the same thing. He says, I promise, manmana, bhav bhakto, become my devotee, offer your mind to me, offer madhyaji, offer your worship to me, mam namaskuru, you worship me, mam eva satyam te, by means of this will definitely come to me, Arjuna. So don't think too many things. Don't think that you will fight and you will go to hell and this is good, this is not. Just surrender to me. I will take care of everything. Then Arjuna is thinking, how can I give up everything, Krishna? I have so much sin. My heart is not pure. How can I completely give up everything and surrender unto you and do your devotion service? Then Krishna says, Sarvadharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam braja aham tvam sarva papepyo moksha ikshayam asuchaha. Krishna gives an assurance. Yes, Arjuna, you can become my pure devotee. You can completely surrender to me. I give you full assurance. Sarvadharman parityajya. Here he says, you can give up all kinds of duty. This is for Nirapeksha Bhakta. Nirapeksha Bhakta, he doesn't perform any kinds of prescribed duties in the Vedic literature. He is completely surrendered to the Lord and he does only nine kinds of devotion service. So he is a Nirapeksha Bhakta. So he says, Sarvadharma parityajya. Here, all kinds of dharma. So you perform highest dharma. What is the highest dharma? Surrender unto me. So that is the highest dharma. You give up the lower dharma. Whatever dharma I have prescribed to you, it can be given up if you can perform the highest dharma. Without performing highest dharma, you cannot give up lower dharma. That is important. Without performing dharma, you cannot give up dharma. Now our position is, we are not performing any dharma. So where is the question of giving up dharma? First of all, we should perform dharma, then we can give up dharma. We are like animals. So how animal can directly become like a pure devotee? So first of all, we should become like a humans, then best among the humans, then Mahatma, then we can become Nirapeksha Bhakta. So that's how Krishna gradually he takes us. Otherwise, we fall down immediately. If you take to the highest position, then we fall down immediately. It is not possible for us to go to the highest position. If we go, you should be under a proper, perfect guide. You should be very cautious in doing, in performing that pure devotion service. Otherwise, by means of performing your dharma and also along with devotion service, that is safest side. That is Parinishthita Bhakta. So that's why Krishna he gives this last sutra in the end of this Bhagavad Gita. He says, Sarvadharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam praja. Mam ekam. Don't take shelter in any other things. Don't take shelter. We cannot say, now I surrender to Krishna, but I will take shelter with my family. I will take shelter with my bank account. I will take shelter with my collection. I will take shelter with my savings. No. Mam ekam sharanam praja. Aham tvam sarva papepyo moksha ikshayam asuchaha. He says, don't fear. Masuchaha. Don't think, now my heart is not pure. I have not done my austerity. I have not done my tapasya. I have not done all these things. So I have not done my sacrifice. How can I purify my heart? Don't worry. I will purify your heart. So again, Acharyas, they warn us for Sannishtita Bhakta, they should perform their duty for the purification of heart. And those who are in the Parinishthita Bhakta, they should perform their duties just to set an example to teach others. And those who are Nirapeksha Bhakta, they don't have to do any duties. They can give up simply everything. And because they are doing highest duty, they are doing service directly to the Supreme Person. So that is also a duty. When you are serving Lord, you cannot serve anyone. That is the condition. There are some owners, they say, If you are working for my company, you should work for my company only. And there are some kind of work where you can work 1 hour here, 1 hour there. Like there are some housekeeping. Then they come, they work in this house for 1 hour, next house for 1 hour. It is not with Krishna. For Krishna, for him alone. Mam ekam sharanam braja. If you are working for Krishna, you should work for Krishna alone, for his enjoyment only. So there is highest stage. So giving up your prescribed duties, you will not get any sin. I will take out all your sin. But until we develop that kind of strong determination to serve Krishna 100%, until that we should perform our prescribed duties. Tavat karmani kurvita na nirvedete yavate mat kata shravanado va shraddaya yavan na jayate. This is what Krishna says in the end of Uddhava Gita. In Uddhava Gita, Krishna speaks about complete detachment from all kinds of karma. But at the end of Uddhava Gita, he says, until you develop complete attachment to my devotion service, you perform your duty. So duty you cannot give up. Duty should give up you. So this is how you give up your duty. You don't desire for renunciation. If you desire for renunciation, that is also a desire. Renunciation will come automatically. So by performing your devotional service, you will automatically forget your karma. That is real form of renunciation. It is not that, okay, I will take up devotional service. So if I take up my devotional service, I can give up my prescribed duties. If you think in this way, then karmanyavadikaraste. You should perform your duty. Why? Because you are trying to avoid your duty, keeping devotional service as a mean. So it is not that because you are completely immersed in devotional service, you are forgetting your duties. No, the other way you are doing. What you are doing, you are trying to escape from your duties, keeping bhakti as keeping surrender as a mean. But that is not the case here. By means of your devotional service, you automatically forget your material things. Then Krishna will help you. That is what we saw in the Bhagavad Gita in previous chapters. So he says this surrender, the highest thing for Nirapeksha Bhakta. So what is surrender? Surrender has 6 kinds of anga. Anukulya sankalpaha, pratikulya savarjanam, rakshishyati iti vishwasaha, gotrupte varanam tada, atmanikshepa, karpanya, shadvita, sharanagatihi. So this 6 things if you have, that is called complete surrender. So what are the 6 things? Anukulya sankalpaha, accepting whatever is favorable for a devotional service, that is first thing, and rejecting whatever is unfavorable. So in this we all get eliminated, because for devotional service, whatever is favorable means we should try to use all our time in Lord's devotion service. But what we are doing, how we are living our life, we are living a life where our time is in a very miserable condition. Why? Because most of our time are squeezed by outside people, and whatever little time we have, we want to engage ourselves in devotion service, and that is not surrender, because our duties are becoming actually hindrance in complete surrender. So with this kind of hindrance, we cannot do complete surrender. So what we are doing, we're trying to do the second kind of bhakti, paradishtita bhakti, that we try to do our devotional service as much as possible along with our prescribed duties also. But complete surrender means you should give up the unfavorable things and you should take up the very favorable things. And rakshishyati vishwasaha, then the next question comes, okay, if I completely give up everything, my material things, then who will take care? Then he says, rakshishyati vishwasa, you should have complete faith that I will take care of you. How many of us believe? How many of us can take risk that Krishna will take care of everything? Okay, I will give up everything and Krishna will take care. Nobody has this kind of complete surrender. So rakshishyati vishwasaha gotruptre varanam tata. Gotruptre varanam tata means just like a bride waiting for the groom by father. Now father, what he does, he selects a proper groom for the bride, and bride, she doesn't ask any question. Supposed to be not ask any question when father selects. So whatever father selects, then the girl marries that person, and she stays with him for all his life, and she serves him completely. So in the similar way, Guru takes us and he gives us in the hands of Lord. So that person, the surrendered person, he doesn't ask any question. So that is actually Diksha. Diksha means you accept a Guru, and what Guru does, he gives you in the hands of Lord. So now what you have to do? Your whole life is meant for serving the Lord. So a married woman cannot say, okay, I have got married now. Now I'll go to my home and I will come whenever I have time. I will come and see you. No, if you are married, then you are fully committed and you have to stay with your husband and you have to serve him. That is called marriage. So that's called Diksha also. Diksha means commitment. Yes, I am meant for serving. I am meant for serving Krishna. So I should serve Krishna. If you have this commitment, then we take Diksha. Otherwise, Diksha is not a fashion that, yes, I take Diksha, you take Diksha, we all take Diksha. No. Diksha means you should have this complete commitment. Yes, I want to serve the Lord completely. It's like admission inside a college or school, that you can be roaming in the streets or playing here and there. But once if you are committed to some school or college, if you are admitted, what you should do, you should go have daily attendance in the school and you should learn, you should understand, you should do whatever they say in the school. That is what admission means. Similarly, initiation means it's an admission inside devotional service. So after that, you don't have any other work. It's like for this horse, they put this thing. The horse doesn't see anywhere. It has Vasatmika buddhir ekeh kurunantanam bahushakahyanam tasya buddhi avyavasayinam. So their only point of attention is Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chitete Koryaki Arana Korima Mone Asha. Their only thing is they want to fulfill the order of Guru and they go on serving the Guru. So that is called complete surrender. Rakshishyati vitvasvaha gotrupte vranaptada atmanikshepa. Atmanikshepa means accepting the dependency of the Lord and placing oneself fully to the Lord. And also Karpanya, one is very humble. So these are the 6 qualities of Sharanagati. Krishna speaks about the Sharanagati. So he ends up this Bhagavad Gita with the Sharanagati and he says, this knowledge of Gita should not be spoken to people who doesn't have sense control, who doesn't have devotion, and who is not unwilling to hear and who is envious of me. So for this kind of people, this most secret knowledge of Bhagavad Gita should not be revealed completely. Because if you reveal, then those who are envious, they will think, why Krishna is all the time saying that he is supreme? I don't accept him. Then they start offending Krishna. Then they fall down. And those who are unwilling people also, if you teach, anyway, they will commit offenses. And without devotion also, if you start reading Bhagavad Gita, then you will end up saying that Krishna is actually confusing and he doesn't know what he is speaking and he's encouraging Arjuna to fight. All this thing without devotion you will find. And those who are lack of sense control, if they understand Bhagavad Gita, then they go on with their sense enjoyment and they think, yes, I have understood Bhagavad Gita, and they go on with their material kind of life. But Krishna says one more thing, that Yedam paramam guhyam mad bhakteshu abhidashati bhaktim mayi param kritva mame vaishya asamshaya. But one who teaches this Bhagavad Gita, they attain the highest bhakti, and finally they attain without doubt. So Krishna here he says the highest thing. Already he spoken one highest thing, that is you completely give up and you surrender to me. But after one shloka, he speaks something more. Now our acharyas, they have taken up this instruction very, very firmly. He says that nachatasmat manushyesu kaschin me priyakratamaha pavita nachatasmat anya priyataro bhuvihi. He says those who teach this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, they are the most dearest person to me. And there was nobody who was more dear to me, and in the future also, nobody can be more dearer to me than the person who is teaching about this knowledge. So teaching of this Bhagavad Gita or preaching this knowledge, it is what most pleasing to Krishna. So one thing is that you want to love Krishna, and second thing is you want to be loved by Krishna. So you may love Krishna, that is different thing. But Krishna, if Krishna loves you, that is the highest thing. So bhakti means we try to develop our love and attachment to Krishna. But Krishna here gives a secret that if you do like this, you become very dear to me. What is that? If you give this knowledge in a proper place, in a proper way, then you are considered, then you become more dearer to me this way. Then Krishna speaks about the Palashruti of this Bhagavad Gita. Whomever hears this conversation which has taken between us, I promise that they have worshipped me by means of knowledge, and they will get free from all kinds of sin, and they will attain spiritual world. In this way, Krishna ends his talk of this Bhagavad Gita. Then he sees Arjuna. What is his reply? And Arjuna says, Ashtomoho smriti labdva tat prasadat maya chuta sitas sidosmi gata sandeha karishye vachanam tava. Krishna, now my illusion is destroyed. I have gained my memory by means of your mercy. No more doubts, and I will do as you have said. So in the beginning, Krishna said, Karpanya dosho bhakata svabha prachamitvam dharma sammuda chetaha yashreyascha nischitam guhitam me shishyasteham sadimam tvam prapannam ahi prapashyami avapanutyad yachyogamuchyoganam indriyanam avapya bhuma vasapatnamadyam rajyam suranam abhichadipadyam. This is the question started by Arjuna. Now he's answering, yes, whatever doubts I had previously, now I'm clean. Now I'm ready to do as you have said. Actually, I had all this thing, but my memory was lost. Now I have regained my memory, and this is all because of your mercy. And I don't have any more doubts. I don't doubt you as an ordinary human being. I remember that you are the supreme person, and you are with me, and you are asking me to fight. Definitely, I will fight. So, Karishye Vachanamta. This is the understanding of Bhagavad Gita, that we should understand Krishna as the supreme person, and we simply follow his instruction. That is the ultimate understanding of Bhagavad Gita. So Arjuna ends here, and then Sanjaya speaks last 5 verses. He says that Ityaham Vasudevasya Parthasya cha Mahatmanaha Samvadam imam asarsam adbhutam Roma harshanam. He says this discussion, whatever happened between Vasudeva and Partha, it is so amazing, it is so astonishing. As soon as I remember this conversation, my hairs stand on end. So here Sanjaya says that he remembers. It is not that he sees, he remembers all this conversation. He has seen this conversation in the war field, in the Kurukshetra, and then he comes back to Dhritarashtra. When Dhritarashtra asks this question, now he's remembering everything, he's recollecting, and he's saying everything. Vyasa prasadach Srutavan etad gukyam maham param yogam yoga ishvarat Krishna sakshat katayata swayam. By mercy of Vyasadeva, I have heard the secret of Bhakti Yoga, which reveals the Supreme Lord directly from Krishna, the controller of all being, who is friendly to all living entity, while he personally spoke it. You see, he says, it is all in the past tense. He said, I have heard this. When Krishna was speaking, I heard this personally. How? Because of Vyasa Prasada. Vyasadeva gave me this special mercy to hear this. I think it looks like in Kurukshetra, not everyone was listening. So only by Vyasadeva's mercy, Sanjaya could listen everything and he could relate everything. Then he says, Rajan samsmritya samvadam idam adbhutam Keshavarjuna yoho punyam rishyami cha muhu. He says, oh my dear king, when I remember this again and again, the conversation which is happening, my hairs are standing on the end. Then he says, Tacha samspritya rupam tat adbhutam harehe vismayo me maharajan rishyami cha punah. And also, what a kind of darshan it was. My God, I saw that Vishwarupa. Who can see that Vishwarupa? So beautiful Vishwarupa was. When I see, I'm filled with wonder. My hairs stand on end. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, yatra Partho Dhanurdharaha, Tatra Shri Vijayir Bhutir, Dhruvanitir Matir Mama. He says, wherever there is a Krishna, the controller, the friend of all living beings, wherever there is Arjuna, the holder of bow, there will be unfailing prosperity, victory, ever increasing wealth and righteousness. This is my conviction. So Dhritarashtra, give up the false hope that your sons will win. Wherever there is Krishna, there is Arjuna. then definitely they are going to win. So one should not worry that this scripture is favoring war. This scripture is meant to teach us the highest bhakti yoga, that is manmana bhakto and also sarva dharman parityajya ityadi shlokas. And uh, and also it teaches us the various dharma of varna ashrama and how we should perform our dharma staying in our varna ashrama. And also it teaches us that there are many methods to reach the Lord, but the easiest method or the quickest method is direct surrender, that is prapatti, that is sharanagati to the Lord. So in this Bhagavad Gita, uh, which is the essence of all the Upanishad, Krishna has painstakingly taken all the essence from all the Upanishad, has given us in a very simple way. So last 22 days, by your mercy also, I had the chance to go through the various acharyas commentaries, and I can say that by Lord's mercy, that my understanding of Bhagavad Gita has slightly increased than previously. So and also I thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to speak, because if you are not there, then I will not have any inspiration to speak. So you all stayed with me, and also I should thank Srila Prabhupada and also previous acharyas, my Guru Maharaj, to giving this soul a chance. Otherwise, what is my yogyata? Yogyata vichare, kichu nahi paye tamara karuna sara. If I consider myself, I'm just nothing. But because of their mercy, I'm doing this. Because my Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Bhakti Vikas Maharaj, he said, you should go and study Sanskrit and study Shastra and try to get knowledge and try to give this knowledge to others. So by his instruction, by his mercy, we are getting this even some taste to study. Otherwise, usually, even after becoming devotee, we have very less taste to study Shastras. Who would like to study Shastras? Nowadays, it is decreasing. Slowly, the culture of studying and deep and understanding is decreasing. So, it is because of their mercy. So, everything is running on the platform of mercy. So I thank here again for them, and also I thank here all of you. I will end here, and yes, we have 10 more chapters questions remaining. I will try to send those questions. It's a it's a promise only, but I don't know when I will send. I will try to send as soon as possible, and we'll have quiz program. I will send you the questions. You prepare the answers, and once if you are comfortable with the answers, then we will have quiz program. And whomever attends the quiz program, only they will get the certificates. And as I was mentioning, soon we'll start Bhagavad Gita deep studies. That is every day one shloka in English also in the evening time. So not now, maybe in the middle of February we'll start that. While doing that, because whatever we have discussed now, it is just like maybe some 5 to 10% of commentaries what we have, and mostly I was covering from Baladev Vidya Bhushan only. Mostly I was covering from Baladev Vidya Bhushan and some from Sridhar Swami. But we have so much from Ramanujacharya, we have so much from Vedanta Deshika, we have so much from Yamunacharya, and we have from Madhvacharya, and we have from Vallabhacharya, we have from our own acharyas. That is, we have from Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, we have from Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So all those commentaries are there, and this is what we are supposed to do. What we are supposed to do? Madchitta madgata pranaha bodhayanta parasparam katayantascha mam nityam tushyanti charamanti cha. So devotee's happiness is to discuss, to get happiness. That is the ultimate understanding of devotee. So I hope Krishna will make us to meet again and to discuss this Bhagavad Gita again. And here, if you have any questions or comments, you can tell now, or we'll see whenever we are able to see. I cannot say we'll see tomorrow. Okay. If there are no questions, then I will end here. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Srila